Hello, this is Chapter 4, Perceptions and Attributions in Organizational Behavior and Management. Our learning objectives are describe the different stages of the perception process, discuss the process of perceptual grouping, compare the 6 potential inaccuracies that can result from perpetual grouping, and summarize how employees use attribution theory to explain the causes of events. And lastly, explain why and in what context impression management tactics are commonly used. Perception. Perception is based on prior experience. It is the cognitive process by which one selects, organizes, and gives meaning to environmental stimuli. Each person gives his or her own meaning to stimuli, so each perceives things differently. We are bombarded by environmental stimuli on a daily basis. Which stimuli you focus on is determined by what you choose to pay attention to. Generally, people perceive stimuli that satisfies needs, emotions, attitudes, or self-concept. The perceptual process. Misinterpreting stimuli can result in perceptual errors. Similar to me errors, snap impressions, each person selects cues that influence the perception of symbols, objects, and people. Exhibit 4.1, the perceptual process and individual interpretation. So we have work environment stimuli. What's your manager style of management? What technology do you have available in the office? Is there noise? Is it quiet? It's a lot of talking, machines, etc. What are your peers like? Is there a reward system? What's the comp plan? And what kind of career opportunities exist? So that's the work environment stimuli. And then we have individuals' perceptual process here. Observations. What are you seeing? What are you hearing? What are you tasting? What are you smelling? And the selection. What's the intensity, size, and impatience of these observations? And then how do you translate all of this stimuli? Are you stereotyping? Do you have self-concept or emotions? And then the response, the needs, the attitudes, the feelings, and the motivation. The perceptual gap between supervisor and subordinates. So here we have types of recognition. Gives privileges, gives more responsibility, gives a pat on the back, gives sincere and thorough praise, trains for better jobs, gives more interesting work. So the frequency with which supervisors say they give various types of recognition for good behavior, and then the frequency with which subordinates say supervisors. And we can see there is a huge disconnect between what the supervisors say and what the subordinates say. Someone's expectations about another causes the individual to behave in a manner consistent with those expectations. That's what's known as a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's also known as the Pygmalion effect or the Golem effect. The Pygmalion and Golem effect. Supervisor expects subordinate to perform at a higher level. Subordinate raises their own expectations and is more motivated. And subordinate increases performance level and meets higher expectations. And then the supervisor's expectations are confirmed. Perceptual grouping. Nearness, stimuli are near each other. Similarity, stimuli are similar in size, shape, color, or form. Closure, completing a figure so that it has a consistent overall form. Figure and ground, grouping sensations into figures and backgrounds, and that's perceptual grouping. Exhibit 4.3, 4 different types of perceptual grouping. Law of nearness, law of similarity, law of closure, and law of figure on ground. So the law of nearness, groups of 6 objects can be perceptually organized depending upon spacing. Law of similarity, group of similar items. Do you see alternative rows of X and O's or columns and alternating O's and X's? Law of closure, fill in the gaps in incomplete stimuli. Do you see a triangle or 3 lines? And the law of figure and ground, it organizes sensations into figures and backgrounds. Schemas, a framework embodying descriptions of people, situations, or objects. It helps us make better sense of information. Schemas are person, role, self, or event-based. Managers use schemas to examine or prepare for a situation and allow the chance to think, organize, and compare before acting. Perceiving, grouping, and creating schemas. Schema inaccuracies and distortions can result from stereotyping, halo effect, selective attention, and similar to me errors. Factors that decrease perceptual accuracy. Factor: how decreases in perceptual accuracy affect manager effectiveness? We have something called stereotyping and prejudice as a factor. Managers who rely on racial, gender, or ethnic stereotypes will not be able to capitalize on diversity management. Selective or divided attention. When managers are overly focused on one issue or are busy multitasking, they tend to perceive less information and rely more on stereotypes. Halo effect. Managers' evaluations of job, applicants, or subordinates' performance may be biased, leading to lower quality decisions. Similar to me errors, managers who focus too much on employees who possess similar qualities may not use the employees in effective ways. Situational factors. Managers who hold certain attitudes or are under time pressures to meet deadlines may make quick judgments about people or situations. And lastly, needs and desires. Managers who have a high need for control, power, or recognition will tend to perceive events and other actions related to those needs. Stereotyping, a translation step in the perceptual process, helps people deal with massive information processing demands, a useful, even essential way to categorize individuals, events, or other things on the basis of limited information or observation. Stereotyping is not inherently bad or wrong. Stereotyping and prejudice. A stereotype that doesn't change when given information showing the stereotype is inaccurate, often the result of direct experiences with members of the rejected group. Once formed, positive experiences with the person's group or unit usually do not reverse the prejudice. Its extreme form is scapegoating. Two sources of prejudice. Personal, something or someone is perceived as a threat to one's own interest, or group occurs when a person conforms to the norms of a group to which he or she belongs. Negative consequences of stereotyping. Social injustice, stifled innovation, poor decision-making, ineffectiveness and inefficiency, underutilization of human resources, and holding back of talented, qualified people. Stereotyping cautions. Pay attention to your stereotyping. Stereotypes are frequently based on little or inaccurate information. Be willing to change or add information that improves the accuracy of your stereotypes. Stereotypes rarely accurately. Selective and divided attention. Selective attention. Giving some messages priority and putting others on hold. A bottleneck or narrowing of the information channel, linking the senses to perception. Divided attention. It occurs when mental efforts are divided among tasks. Some stimuli require more attention. The halo effect. What important or noticeable characteristic biases an evaluation, perception, or impression of a person? Presuming someone is hardworking because they arrive early and stay late. Considering that someone with piercings is wild and unreliable. One trait or characteristic can't predict a person's performance. An individual's attractiveness can influence managerial decisions. Attractiveness increased evaluation, pay raises, and promotions for women in non-managerial positions. The opposite was true for women in managerial positions. Both outcomes stem from the halo effect. Similar to me errors, people frequently use themselves as benchmarks in perceiving others. Knowing oneself makes it easier to see others accurately. Those who accept themselves are more likely to see favorable aspects of others. Choosing subordinates who are similar to ourselves may not be appropriate to the situation. Situational factors. Perceptual accuracy can be affected by the pressure of time, attitudes of subordinates, or other situational factors unnamed here. Needs and perceptions. Perceptions are influenced by needs and desires. People see what they want to see. The hungrier people were when viewing ambiguous drawings, the more they saw them as articles of food. Attribution theory. Behavior is greatly influenced by our personal interpretation of reality. Perceptual processes are potent determinants of behavior. Attribution theory attempts to explain the why of behavior based on people's attributions of the causes of the events that happen to them. Here's the attribution process. Have an event, an analysis of what caused the event, reinforcement or modification of previous assumptions of causality, choices regarding the future behavior. Example, I received a raise. I received a raise because I am a hard worker. Hard work leads to rewards in this organization. Since I value these rewards, I will continue to work hard in the future. The attribution process explained. Attribution theory. Behavior is examined on the basis of distinctiveness, degree to which one behaves similarly in different situations. Consistency, degree to which one engages in the same behaviors at different times. Consensus, degree to which others are engaging in the same behavior. Exhibit 4.6, internal and external attributions. Distinctiveness, does this person behave in the same manner in other situations? Yes. Low distinctiveness? No. High distinctiveness. Consistency, does this person behave in the same manner at other times? Yes. High consistency or no. Low consistency. Consensus, do other people behave in the same manner? No. That's low consensus. Or yes, that's high consensus. So we have internal attribution and external attribution. Systematic errors or biases distort attributions. Fundamental attribution error, underestimating the importance of external factors and overestimating internal factors when making attributions about the behavior of others. Self-serving bias, taking credit for successful work and denying responsibility for poor work. Managerial implications of an attributional approach to understanding work behavior. To influence behavior, managers must understand the attributions employees make. Managers must be aware that their attributions may be different from employees' attributions, and managers cannot assume that their own attributions are error-free. Impression management, the attempt to influence others' perceptions of ourselves, how we talk, our overall style, and office locations and furniture. Impression management. Impression management is interpersonal. Resources, style, and creativity are mobilized in order to create a positive impression in the presence of others. What are the reasons to use impression management? Well, it allows one to convey a desired identity. 2, allows congruence with the established impression. And 3, particular situation may require significantly different behaviors. Impression management tactics include ingratiation, self-promotion, exemplification, supplication, and intimidation. What job applicants say to generate a positive impression of themselves? Self-promotion, positively describing oneself. Personal stories, opinion conformity, entitlements, enhancements of another, overcoming obstacles, justification, and excuses. In review, describe the different stages of the perception process. Discuss the process of perceptual grouping, and compare the 6 potential inaccuracies that can result from perceptual grouping. Summarize how employees use attribution theory to explain the causes of events. Explain why and in what context impression management tactics are commonly used. Thank you for listening.